Kurt Eichenwald has come a long way in the past few months. Let's take a look at some of his highlights from 2017.
I mean, Tucker, if you don't want me to answer the question,
I'm asking you the question.
To answer the question, I would really like to answer your question. Would you like me to answer? Do you want me to
Go
answer
ahead.
the question or not?
This is
yes or no? Do you want me to answer the question? Let me answer the question.
Go ahead.
Look, you're not fooling anybody. You're trying to stop me from giving the answer.
911, what's your emergency?
Would you like me to answer? Do you want me to answer the question or not? Look, you're not fooling anybody. You're trying to stop me from giving the answer.
Kurt Eichenwald then was sent a GIF on Twitter, and he claims it gave him a seizure and has now pressed charges for assault, I believe, against the man who sent him the GIF. Kurt would make the news yet again when he tweeted out this picture that he took, showing a list of tabs that were open on his computer. And his attempt here was to show that he was getting death threats from anti-Semitic alt-writers. However, people didn't really care so much about that as they cared for the hentai tab he had opened up. He then tweeted out after realizing his mistake, "Sigh. Okay, I'm a dumbass. Believe it or not, my kids and I were trying to convince my wife that tentacle porn existed. I tried to find some to show her it was real, but I couldn't find any, and ended up with this. My family reads my Twitter feed, so they know this is true." Well, apparently, Kurt Eichenwald thinks that none of us have ever used Google before, as a very, very short Google search will yield all the results of tentacle porn you can imagine if you just type in tentacle porn into the Google search bar. So, to put it simply, Kurt called out Julian Assange as being a pedophile on Twitter. Immediately, Julian Assange fired back, Wikileaks fired back, and, well, I'm sure he regrets accusing Julian Assange of a crime that he hasn't been found guilty of. Wikileaks very quickly brought up, reporter Kurt Eichenwald was an administrator of a child porn site, claims he was only posing as an online predator. And then a bunch of other stuff came out as well, including him apparently reviewing his own books on Amazon with 5 stars by his pseudonym Andrew MacDonald, which is also the pseudonym he uses in regards to uncovering pedophilia. This article from Slate from 2007 also came up talking about how Kurt paid $2,000 to former child porn performer Justin Barry, but reporters aren't supposed to give money to their sources. Eichenwald also did not disclose this transaction to his editors. On top of that, as far as I remember, the $2,000 check from Eichenwald emerged as part of a proceedings in a trial of a Michigan man accused in criminal sexual conduct involving minors. Eichenwald testified that he volunteered to send Barry $2,000 after reading an online post offering Justin for sale to the highest bidder for the night. Eichenwald said when he finally decided to write about Barry after meeting him in person, he asked for the money back. People are speculating that perhaps the reason he asked for the money back is because paying him $2,000 is incredibly unethical, because you're not supposed to pay your sources directly and then not disclose that payment. So, to summarize, Kurt Eichenwald tried to paint Julian Assange as some sort of sexual predator when he hasn't actually been found guilty of anything. So, don't throw stones in glass houses, I guess, right? But I think anything I have to say is fairly self-explanatory to anybody who'd be checking out this video, but I'll have a link to this article in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. It is back from 2007, so it's a little bit older. I would encourage you to check out the WikiLeaks Task Force Twitter page. That's where this whole internet slap fight started, and if you're interested in the whole thing, that's where you can find all the raw data. So let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and I will see you all later. Before I go, I wanted to mention 2 specific things. First, I plan on doing a video on the swordfish leaks that came out either later today or maybe tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I don't want to flood all your subscription feeds, and I still have a lot of reading to do on the subject. Just a heads up, though, there's no smoking gun, there's no bombshell evidence. Most of the stuff we're going to read about and look at is stuff that you probably already would have assumed was going on. So we'll take a look at that. And the other thing is something I've been working on that I think you guys might be interested in, because as I was making it, I kept getting a giant smile on my face. So someone was nice enough to give me a suggestion on, I believe, Twitter, that I should make Antifa playing cards for my Patreon. And I think that sounded brilliant. So I've been working on that. It's essentially going to play a little bit like War, with a little bit of a Magic the Gathering kind of twist. But here's a couple of the cards right here. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any ideas, feel free to hit me with them. I'm planning on keeping the games really short. But yeah, that about sums it up. So I will see you all later.